On behalf of the National Council of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I am pleased to welcome you to this important two-day policy dialogue and training here in Ward. We are grateful for your presence and commitment to discussions that are critical to Ghana's future, especially for women, youth, and local businesses in the northern regions.
What are some of these skills that we need to be able to deal with these green, circular sectors like organic agriculture, weaving, circular? What are the tools that we need, the equipment, that we need, and the role? And thankfully, we have officials from the local authorities and municipalities here. Those officials are responsible for the implementation of government policy at the very grassroots level.
The use of green technology to tackle climate change and its crisis has become imperative. And this, we know, enables the creation of more vibrant economies based on the use of clean technologies. We also know it secures an increasingly greener world in order to encourage development and poverty reduction.
The GreenGrowth Project, which is being supported by the European Commission, is a collaboration between the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and also the Presbyterian University of Ghana. This is a collaboration between academia and the private sector, looking at issues of contemporary importance to the country, especially in the three northern regions where we have a lot of challenges to do with the current situation of climate change, where there is unpredictability of weather patterns, where crops that used to thrive in particular environments are now failing, and where there is the challenge of high levels of unemployment because of these environmental factors. So what we are actually looking is to first and foremost, enhance the capacity of farmers and other key economic sectors in the region so that they will be able to build their resilience against climate change. Secondly, in building this resilience, it means that they will have to look for alternative sources of livelihoods, which they can fall back on in the lean seasons where their particular economic sectors like agriculture is being affected. And the focus is mainly to target women, because a lot of the women are involved in these sectors that are impacted by climate change. And not only that, they are the core social sectors within their community, taking care of the children, taking care of the household. And if they don't have an income to be able to support the household, sometimes the consequences are very dire on the house and themselves and also the community. So we are looking at alternative means to support these women, be it in the area of weaving, which is quite a very big industry in the community. As we know, currently our most prized traditional wear. Fugu is being promoted around the world. So that's an industry that creates lots of jobs in the north region, and it also employs lots of women. So this is a sector that we are looking to see as an alternative source that some of these farmers could fall back on in case they have these challenges to do with climate, uncertainty of the climate in their traditional agriculture sector. But in doing so, it's very important that our farmers, youth and women, have the skills to be able to deal with these new emerging sectors that can help provide them with a sustainable livelihood. Skills training is very important for how they engage. If somebody is involved in shea nut butter, right, and that shea nut butter has a market overseas, what are the skills that one needs to be able to make sure that shea butter is well produced, acceptable to foreign markets, to be able to be sold to consumers abroad? If that person wants to start a business, what type of capital does that individual needs? These are small, medium enterprises. They cannot just walk into Zenith Bank or Access Bank and ask for a loan to start a business. First and foremost, they will not meet the criteria. They don't have the assets or the security to be able to put down for a loan. Secondly, even so, if they have for their type of business, will they be able to afford the interest rates? Most likely not. So that's not the type of finance that these sort of SMEs in the northern regions are looking for. They are looking for finance that can help them establish their businesses, finance that is sustainable, that will ensure that their business is running, making profits, and they are able to pay back. So those are the sort of funding that is looking at, and so we are currently exploring new opportunities in the area of green finance, blended finance, subsidized finance, and even in some cases subsidized finance from Islamic banking. If that will provide them with enough capital for their sustainable businesses. So, we are looking at this. We are looking at skill sets, the particular skill that they need to produce organic and sustainable products that are demanded by the market. We are looking at opportunity to provide them with some marketing skills, exploring the potentials of a digital platform for them to be able to market their products online, so that they can have a much wider market than just their small communities. So these are some of the initiatives that we've been discussing today. The skill sets, what are the policies that government needs to put in place to ensure that, women and youth in this community have the right skills to be able to, apply their trade, to be able to fall back on when there is the challenge that, the area where they operate is having problem because of climate change. And this requires training. Training requires that our vocational schools are well equipped and financed with new curriculum that will help provide this training that are required by today's labor market. So these are some of the issues that we're dealing with, having discussions in the area of policy and how government can support in these sectors. So it's been a very enriching engagement, but at the same time, there are a lot of questions, that are out there, and there are a lot of needs. So there's still a lot of work. Recommendations are well and good, but there's a lot of work to put them into action to make sure that our objectives in terms of having the right skill for our youth women, is achieved, so that they can have sustainable livelihoods to take care of their families and to take care of their communities. So these are some of the expected outcomes to our discussions and deliberations. It has been well attended by all the stakeholders from across the region, and hopefully that once we come up with recommendations, this will be presented to government, and in collaboration with government, we'll all be able to achieve sustainable development and reduce poverty in the region. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Fabian Aberenga. I work with the Environmental Protection Authority in the Upper West region. I'm the Senior Program Officer in the WA office. Yes, this program organized, I think it's a very important thing, and I even wish it should have been more days to be able to rope in more people, enable us to really understand and sync the information down to each and every institution. Well, especially when we're talking about the green TVET, it's a very important thing for Environmental Protection Authority, because of late we have urbanization have taken over everything, and everywhere we go we clear everything without leaving a single tree, and that is also affecting us because we move into every institution or every location we want to stand. We want to park our vehicles under shade, our motorbikes under shade. We even want to have a group conversation under a shade. Our educational institutions are there. The students are on break, they have no place to sit down. But the best way should have been that we should have had summer huts where around some trees where students can come out and sit down. You have a visitor, you have nowhere to keep the visitor. That's very bad. And that affects our environment a lot. Environmental Protection Authority all the time sometimes come out with some projects that talk about tree planting among some institutions. Mostly the basic schools and then some of the senior high schools. That we have to even monitor them to ensure that the trees are planted. We plant it with them. But the missing link is after the students are gone on vacation, who take care of the tree seedlings? And then probably some schools are there where we have drinking water. How are they going to water the seedlings till they grow? And that's affecting especially the northern part of Ghana. Mention them, be it Tamale, Savannah region, Upper East region or Upper West region. We face the same issues in our various schools. And I think the school syllables or the syllabi that they use these days, at least they should try to ensure that schools of that kind, especially our training schools that talk about hand training institutions, they should inculcate that sort of discipline in the students to ensure that students working in an institution, they deserve better life, and the students should understand that all what they are doing is not a punishment to them, but it's their own discipline they are trying to train to ensure that they grow and fit better into the society. We travel outside Ghana, and we find out other environments looking very neat. Sometimes you see students, you even think that they are better than you. They are not better than you. It's the discipline that they have inculcated in them that makes them look better than you. But we equally have that same qualities to be able to do things better for ourselves. So I think the programs of this kind will be rather organized more, rope in more people. Probably this place is taking place in the Upper West region. I think if that can be moved to Upper East region and that of Northern region as well as Savannah region, to ensure that women and children are participated in this exercise, to ensure that the message goes deeper. And probably parents, I want to say, can also be taking part of this. Because if you are a good boy, probably they'll ask you, whose home are you coming from? They'll ask of your parents. And when it's also a bad person, they'll still ask you, which home are you coming from? So we feel proud when your name is mentioned in the good books of the institutions. So I think better these programs should be organized frequently, and probably sponsorship can also come in to help the programs sustainable, to be able to make things better for our institution and we ourselves to live as better people in our various society. Ghana in particular is a disciplined country, but sometimes we just need a little effort, probably enforcement, to be able to make it better for everyone. So I think this program, I really appreciate it, and I wish to attend more of this and probably synchronize my ideas to also them to be able to make things better for Ghana and the world as large. I'm so grateful to be part of this program. Thank you.
My name is Hamid Minkaili Kurusadamba, the co-founder and Chief Executive Officer for 3N Waste Utilization GH. At 3N, we convert plastic waste as cotton bags into fabrics. And we are working close with the 23 Fiscal Challenge, 4 artisans, and we have 15 able artisans. So basically, we have the dress makers and we have weavers too. we work together to produce eco-friendly products from our waste. The waste that we see that is not good for our environment, we are trying to give a different life to those products. These are waste. We don't rely on virgin materials, but we rather convert waste products into something that is what usable to us. We produce school bags and we make what footwear from that at an affordable price and sustainable price. Today, being part of this program, it is really great. I've learned a lot on how to go and see how best I can try to collaborate and see how best we can bring in people to learn this skill and also build our capacity to make us what help reduce the high rate of youth employment in one municipal and the women too. And the fiscal challenge that who goes to the street to beg, we have factored all into this, and which is going to what help reduce poverty in our community. So once again, I'll pray that more of these green growth projects is bring to our doorsteps to enable us what enable and expand our capacity in order to make more, create more greener jobs and also reduce poverty in our society. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Abdul Hamid Adams. I'm the Executive Director for Tondari Ventures. At Tondari, we do share butter production and exports. I had an opportunity to join the GreenGrowth Ghana Project, and I think currently we are undergoing a session on circular economy within the TVET sector. I think this is a very great initiative. We had very wonderful conversations regarding how to integrate renewable energy, circular economy within the TVET practices, running from the curriculum through to the classroom to the practice on grounds. I think these conversations are turning away to look at the traditional ways of how TVET, or let me say local artisans, used to do their work, and how will they add value to the waste that they are all churning out. If you look at the carpenters that are churning out sawdust, these things can be used to compact chipboards. We are looking at the share producers that are turning out waste, which could be used to regenerate energy, regenerate or reuse for their fuel wood in place of the amount of fuel we use. So I think these conversations, if they move beyond the corridors of the discussions to practice, when I mean practice, majority of the artisans or the craftsmen are non-formalized. They are not educated. We need to go to their doorsteps and organize capacity building trainings for them. Once these people are trained and empowered on how to turn their waste into other products, then it creates an opportunity to create more jobs for the youth and engage better, get a very innovative product that could be exported out of the country and generate a bigger economy for the country. Thank you so much.